So today, I figured I'd go ahead and read the book that I said that I was going to, attempt to read. And after this video will be the determining video on if I make more of these. So be really nice in the comments if you know that want another one. Also, by the way, if you guys are new to this channel, please go ahead and give me a subscribe. After this video, I'll probably be at 1,500 subscribers, but I really want to get to 2,000, 3,000, and beyond. So I can only do that with your help. Please go ahead and give it a subscribe. A lot of you guys are returning. So if you like my content, just hit the button. It's free. Anyways. You may notice that this is also a book. Yes, I am stacking. Ow, I just hit my eye. I am stacking a book on top of a book so that I can read this book for you guys. But I'm just going to give a few sounds because I think you guys like this stuff. Okay. Let me know if you guys like that because, I'm new to this stuff. I usually just eat. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started reading. I just gotta move this a little bit. Hopefully that doesn't make too much noise and I have to edit it out. Okay. So, how am I gonna do this? Alright. Bump that. I know how we're gonna do this. I'm just gonna have to read it like this. I thought I was gonna be able to do it that way, but we'll just have to do it this way. Alright. So. Alright, so this is going to be the Iliad, book 1. So. And also, for those of you who don't know, who haven't read the Iliad, I guess I should explain. It's Greek mythology. It takes place during the Trojan War type of thing, but, if you haven't read it in the past, I guess you can listen to me read it. Agamemnon is compelled to restore the captive girl Chryses. Oh man, I should have looked up how to read that. Okay, look, I'm gonna butcher these names. Don't at me. I'm gonna try and pronounce them as best as I can. I really should have looked up how to pronounce this, but Chryses to her father, but in retaliation takes from Achilles the lovely Briseis. Achilles, enraged, vows he will fight no more for Agamemnon through his mother, the sea nymph Thetis, secures the aid of Zeus for the Trojans. This provokes the wrath of the goddess Hera. Okay. Sing, O goddess, the anger of Achilles, son of Peleus, that brought countless ills upon the Achaeans. Many a brave soul did it send burning down to Hades, and many a hero did it yield a prey to dogs and vultures. For so the counsels of Zeus fulfilled from the day on which he was the son of Atreus, the son of Atreus, king of men, the great Achilles, first fell out with one another. In which of the gods was it that set him on to quarrel? It was the son of Zeus and Leto, for he was angry with the king and sent a pestilence upon the host to plague the people. Because the son of Atreus had dishonored Chryses, his priest. Now Chryses, had come to the ships of the Achaeans to free his daughter, and had brought him with great ransom. Moreover, he bore in his hand the scepter of Apollo, wreathed with a suppliant's wreath, and he besought the Achaeans, but most of all, the two sons of Atreus, who their chiefs, sons of Atreus, he cried. And all of the other Achaeans, may gods who dwell in Olympus grant you to sack the city of Priam, and to reach your homes in safety, but free my daughter and accept a ransom for her in reverence to Apollo, son of Zeus. rest of the Achaeans with one voice were for respecting the priest and taking the ransom that he offered. But not so Agamemnon, who spoke fiercely to him and sent him roughly away. "Old man," said he, "let me not find you tarrying about our ships, nor yet coming hereafter. Your scepter of the god and your wreath shall profit you nothing. I will not free her. She shall grow old in my house at Argos, far from her own home, busying herself with her loom and visiting my couch. So go, do not provoke me, or it shall be the worse for you." The old man feared him and obeyed. Not a word he spoke, but went by the shore of the sounding sea and prayed apart to King Apollo, whom lovely Leto had borne. "Hear me," he cried, "O god of the silver bow, that protectest Chryse and holy Scylla and rulest Tenedos. With thy might hear me, O thou of Simonth. If I've ever decked your temple with garlands, or burned your thigh bones in fat of bulls or goats, grant my prayer and let your arrows avenge these tears upon the Danaans." Thus did he pray, and Apollo heard his prayer. He came down furious from the summits of Olympus, with his bow and his quiver upon his shoulders, and the arrows rattled on his back. With the ships, with a face as dark as night, and his silver bow rang death as he shot his arrow in the midst of them. First he smote their mules and their hounds, but presently he aimed his shafts at the people themselves. And all day long the pyres of the dead were burning. For 9 whole days he shot his arrows among the people, but upon the 10th day Achilles called them in assembly. It moved thereto by Hero, who saw the Achaeans in their death throes, and had compassion upon them. Then when they got together he rose and spoke among them. "Son of Atreus," said he, "I deem that we should now turn roving home, if we would escape destruction, for we are being cut down by war and pestilence at once. Let us ask some priest or prophet, or some reader of dreams, for dreams too are of Zeus, who can tell us why Phoebus Apollo is so angry, and say whether it is some vow that we have broken, or hecatomb that we have not offered, and whether he will accept the Savior of lambs and goats without blemish, as to take away the plague from us." With these words he sat down. Calchas, son of Nestor, wisest of augurs, knew these things, past, present, and to come, rose to speak. He it was who guided the Achaeans with their fleet to Ilium, through the prophesyings with which Phoebus Apollo had inspired him. With all sincerity and good he addressed them thus. It's all these things. This is why I don't want to read this book. It's all of these little, the way they twist the words around. It gets me tripped up. Anyways, sorry. "Achilles, loved of heaven, you bid me tell you about the anger of King Apollo. I will therefore do so, but consider first and swear that you will stand by me heartily in word and deed, for I know that I shall offend one who rules the Argives with might, and to whom the Achaeans are in subjection. A plain man cannot stand the anger of the king, who, if he swallow his displeasure now, will yet nurse revenge until he has wreaked it. Consider therefore whether or no you will protect me." And Achilles answered, "Fear not, but speak it as it is born in you and upon you from heaven. For by Apollo, Calchas, to whom you pray, into those oracles you reveal to us, not a Danaan at our ships shall lay his hand upon you while I yet to live. While I yet live to look upon the face of the earth. No, not though you name Agamemnon himself, who is by far the foremost of the Achaeans." Thereon the seer spoke boldly. "The god," he said, "is neither angry his ransom for her. Therefore he has sent these evils upon us, and will send others. He will not deliver the Danaans from this pestilence till Agamemnon has restored the girl without fee or ransom to her father, and has yet sent a holy hecatomb to Chryse. Thus we perhaps appease him. With these words he sat down, and Agamemnon rose in anger. His heart was black with rage, and his eyes flashed fire as he scowled on Calchas, and said, Seer of evil, you never yet prophesied smooth things concerning me, but have ever loved to foretell with that which was evil. You have brought me neither comfort nor performance, and now you come seeing among the Danaans, and saying that Apollo has plagued us, because I would not take a ransom for this girl, the daughter of Chryses. I have set my heart on keeping her in my own house, for I love her better than even my own wife, Clytemnestra, whose peer she is alike in form and feature, in understanding and accomplishments. Still I will give her up if I must, for I would have the people live, not die. But you must find me a prize instead, or I alone among the archives shall be without one. This is not well, for you behold, all of you, that my prize is to go elsewhither. And Achilles answered, Most noble son of Atreus, covetous beyond all mankind, how shall the Achaeans find you another prize? We have no common store from which to take one. Those we took from the cities have been awarded. We cannot disallow the awards that have been made already. Give this girl, therefore, to the god, and if Zeus grants us to sack the city of Troy, we shall requite you 3- and 4-fold. Then Agamemnon said, Achilles, valiant though you may be, you shall not thus outwit me. You shall not overreach, and shall not persuade me. Are you to keep your own prize while I sit tamely under my loss, and give up the girl at your bidding? Let the Achaean find me a prize in fair exchange to my liking, or I will come and take your own, or that of Ajax, or of Odysseus, and he too, whomsoever I may come shall rue my coming. But of this we will take thought hereafter. For the present, let us draw a ship into the sea, and find a crew for her expressly. Let us put a hecatomb on board, and let us send Chryses also. Further, let some chief man among us in command, either Ajax or Indomineus, or yourself, son of Peleus, mighty warrior that you are, that we may offer sacrifice and appease the anger of the god. Achilles scowled at him and answered, You are steeped in insolence and lust of gain. With what art can any of the Achaeans do your bidding, either on foray or in open fighting? I came not warring here, for any ill of the Trojans had done me. I have no quarrel with them. They have not raided my cattle or my horses, or cut down my harvests on the rich plains of Pythia. For between me and them there is a great space, both mountain and sounding sea. We have followed you, Sir Insolence, for your pleasure, not ours, to gain satisfaction from the Trojans for your shameless self, and for Menelaus. You forget this, and threaten to rob me of the prize for which I have toiled, and which the sons of the Achaeans have given me. Never when the Achaeans sack any rich city of the Trojans do I receive a good a prize as you do, though it is my hands that do the better part of the fighting. When this sharing comes, your share is far the largest, and I, forsooth, must go back to my ships, take what I can get, and be thankful when my labor of fighting is done. Therefore, I shall go back to Pythia. It will be much better for me to return home with my ships, for I will not stay here to be dishonored, to gather gold and substance for you. And Agamemnon answered, Fly if you will, I shall make you no prayers to stay you. I have others here who will do me honor, and above all Zeus, the Lord of Counsel. There is no king here so hateful as to me as you, for you are ever quarrelsome and ill-affected. What though you be brave, Was it not heaven that made you so? Go home, then, with your ships and comrades, lord it over the Myrmidons. I care neither for you, nor for your anger, and thus will I do, since Phoebus Apollo is taking Cryaces from me. I'm trying to say their names different, but Cryaces is the girl, and then like Chryses or whatever his name is the priest. If you're trying to pay attention, and if you've fallen asleep, then good for you. I shall send her with the ship and my followers, but I shall come to your tent and take your own prize, Bryaces, that you may learn how much stronger I am than you are, and that another may fear to set himself up as equal or compatible with me. The son of Peleus was furious, and his heart within his shaggy breast was divided whether to draw his sword, push the others aside, and kill the son of Atreus, or to restrain himself and check his anger. While he was thus in two minds and was drawing his mighty sword from his scabbard, Athena came down from heaven, for Hera had sent her in the love that she had poured to them both. Hera really stepped in. She a real one. And seized the son of Peleus by his yellow hair, visible to him alone, for the others no man could see her. Achilles turned in amaze, and by the fire that flashed from her eyes at once knew that she was Athene. I don't know if it's Athene or Athene. Why are you here? Said he, daughter of Aegis bearing Zeus. To see the pride of Agamemnon, said son of Atreus. Or to see the son of pride, son of Atreus. Let me tell you, and it shall surely be, he shall pay for this insolence with his life. And Athene said, I come from heaven. If you will hear me, to bid you stay your anger, Hera has sent me, for who cares of both of you alike? Cease then this brawling, and do not draw your sword. Rail at him if you will, and your railing will not be in vain, for I tell you, and it shall surely be, that you shall hereafter receive gifts 3 times as splendid by reason of this present insult. Hold therefore and obey. Goddess, answered Achilles, however angry a man may be, he must do as you two command him. This will be best for the gods, ever hear the prayers of him who has obeyed in them. He stayed his hand on the silver hilt of his sword and thrust back into the scabbard as Athene bade him. Then she went back to Olympus among the other gods, into the house of Aegis bearing Zeus. But the son of Peleus again began railing at the son of Atreus, for he was still in rage. Wine bibber, he cried, with the face of a dog and the heart of a hind. You never dare to go out with the host and fight, nor yet with our chosen men in ambuscade. You shun this, as you do death itself. You rather go round and rob his prizes from any man who contradicts you. You devour your people, for you are the king over a feeble folk. Otherwise, son of Atreus, henceforthward, you would insult no man. Therefore I say, and swear it with a great oath, nay, by this scepter, which will sprout neither leaf, nor shoot, nor bud anew from the day on which it is left a parent stem upon the mountains, for the axe stripped it of leaf and bark. For now the sons of the Achaeans bear it, judges and guardians of the decrees of heaven. So surely and solemnly do I swear hereafter, they shall look fondly for Achilles, and shall not find him. That was kind of loud. Let's not let that fall. Okie doke. Real quick, I'm just gonna move this over here. see that, but I think this works a lot better. Okay. In the day of your distress, when your men fall dying by the murderous hand of Hector, you shall not know how to help them, and shall render your heart with rage for the hour when you offered insult to the bravest of the Achaeans. With this, the son of Peleus dashed his gold-bestudded scepter on the ground and took his seat, while the son of Atreus was beginning fiercely from his place upon the other side. Then uprose smooth-tongued Nestor, the facile speaker of the Pylians, and the words fell from his lips sweeter than honey. 2 generations of men born and bred in Pylos had passed away under his rule, and he was now reigning over the third. With all sincerity and goodwill, therefore, he addressed them thus. Of a truth, he said, a great sorrow befallen the Achaean land. Surely Priam with his sons would rejoice, and the Trojans would be glad at heart if they could hear this quarrel between you, who are so excellent in fight and counsel. I am older than either of you, therefore be guided by me. Moreover, I have been the familiar friend of men even greater than you are, and they did not disregard my counsel. Never again can I behold such men as Pertheus and Dryas, shepherd of his people, or as Encaneus, Exadius, godlike Polyphemus, and Theseus, son of Aegeus, peer of mortals. These were the mightiest men ever born upon this earth. Mightiest were they, and when they fought the fiercest tribes of the mountain savages, they utterly overthrew them. I came from these distant Pylos, and went about among them, for they would have me come, and I fought it as was in me to do. Not a man living could withstand them, but they heard my words, and they were persuaded by them. So be it also with yourselves, for this is the most excellent way. Therefore, Agamemnon, though you be strong, take not this girl away, for the sons of the Achaeans have already given her to Achilles, and you, Achilles, strive not further with the king, for no man, by the grace of Zeus, wields a scepter, has like honor with Agamemnon. You are strong, and you have a goddess for your mother, but Agamemnon is stronger than you, for he has more people under him. Son of Atreus, check your anger, I implore you. End this quarrel with Achilles, who in the day of a battle is a tower of strength to the Achaeans. And Agamemnon answered, Sir, all that you have said is true, but this fellow must needs become our lord and master. He must be lord of all, king of all, and captain of all, and this shall hardly be. Granted that the gods have made him a great warrior, have they also given him the right to speak with railing? Achilles interrupted him. I should be a mean coward, he cried, were I given to you all things. Order other people about, not me, for I shall obey no longer. Furthermore, I say, and lay my saying to your heart, I shall not fight neither you nor any man about this girl, for those that take were those that also gave. But of all else, that is my ship, you shall carry away nothing by force. Try that others may see. If you do, my spear shall be reddened with your blood. When they had quarreled thus angrily, they rose and broke up the assembly at the ships of the Achaeans. The son of Peleus went back to the tents and ships with the son of Menoetius and his company, while Agamemnon drew a vessel into the water and chose a crew of 20 oarsmen. He escorted Chryses on board and sent, moreover, a hecatomb for the god, and Odysseus went as captain. These then went on board and sailed their ways over the sea, but the son of Atreus bade the people purify themselves. So they purified themselves and cast their filth into the sea. Then they offered hecatombs of bulls and goats without blemish on the seashore, and the smoke with the savor of their sacrifice rose curling up towards heaven. They busy themselves throughout the host, but Agamemnon did not forget the threat that he made Achilles, and called his trusty messengers and squires. Talthybius and Eurybates, go, said he, to the tent of Achilles, son of Peleus. Take Briareus by the hand, and bring her hither. If he not give her, I shall come with others and take her, which will press him harder. He charged them straight further and dismissed them, whereon they went. There was sorrowful by the seaside, till they came to the tents and ships of the Myrmidons. They found Achilles sitting by his tent and his ships. Ill-pleased he was when he beheld them. They stood fearfully and reverently before him, and never a word did they speak. But he knew them and said, Welcome, heralds, messengers of gods and men. Draw near. My quarrel is not with you, but with Agamemnon, who has sent you for the girl Briareus. Therefore, Patroclus, bring her and give her to them. But let them be witnesses by the blessed gods, by mortal men, and the fierceness of Agamemnon's anger, that if ever again there be need of me to save people from ruin, they shall seek, and they shall not find. Agamemnon is mad with rage, and knows not how to look before and after, that the Achaeans may fight by their ships in safety. Patroclus did as his dear comrade had bidden him. He brought Briareus from the tent and gave her over to the heralds, who took her with them to the ships of the Achaeans, and the woman was loath to go. Then Achilles went alone by the side of the hoar sea, and weeping and looking out upon the boundless waste of the waters, he raised his hands in prayer to his immortal mother. Mother, he cried, you bore me and doomed to live but for a little season. Surely Zeus, who thunders from Olympus, might have made that a little glorious. It is not so. Agamemnon, son of Atreus, has done me dishonor, and has robbed me of my prize by force. As he spoke, he wept aloud, and his mother heard him, where she was sitting in the depths of the sea, hard by the old man, her father. Forthwith she rose, as it were grey mist out of the waves, sat down before him, and stood weeping, caressed him with her hand, and said, My son, why are you weeping? What is it that grieves you? Keep it not from me, but tell me, that we may know it together. Achilles drew a deep sigh and said, You know it. Why tell you what we know already? We went to Thebes, the strong city of Aetion, sacked it, and brought hither the spoil. The son of the Achaeans shared it duly among themselves, and chose the lovely Briareus as the meed of Agamemnon. But Chrysis, priest of Apollo, came to the ships of the Achaeans to free his daughter, and brought with him a great ransom. Moreover, he bore in his hand the scepter of Apollo, wreathed in a suppliant's wreath, and he besought the Achaeans, but most of all the two sons of Atreus, who were their chiefs, on the rest of the Achaeans with one voice, were for respecting the priest and taking the ransom that he offered, but not so Agamemnon, who spoke fiercely to him, and sent him roughly away. So he went back in anger, and Apollo, who loved him dearly, heard his prayer. Then the god sent a deadly dart upon the Argives, and the people died thick on one another, for the arrows went every whither among the wide host of the Achaeans. At last a seer, in the fullness of his knowledge, declared to us the oracles of Apollo. And I was myself first to say that we should appease him, whereon the son of Atreus rose in anger, and threatened, to which he has since done. The Achaeans are now taking the girl in a ship to Chrysis, and sending the gifts sacrificed to the god. But the heralds have just taken from my tent the daughter of Briareus, whom the Achaeans had warded to myself. Help your brave son, therefore, if you are able, go to Olympus, and if you have ever done him service in word or deed, implore him the aid of Zeus. Oft times in my father's house I have heard your glory, and that you alone of the immortals saved the son of Cronus from ruin, when the others, with the Hera, Poseidon, and Pallas Athene, would have put you in bonds, or would have put him in bonds. It was you, goddess, who delivered him by calling to Olympus, the 100-handed monster whom gods call Briareus, but men call Agamemnon, for he is stronger than his father. When, therefore, he took his seat, all glorious beside the son of Cronus, the other gods were afraid and did not bind him. Go then to him, remind him of this, clasp his knees, and bid him give thee succor to the Trojans. Let the Achaeans be hemmed in the sterns of their ships and perish on the seashore, that they may reap the joy that they may their king, and Agamemnon may rue his blindness in offering insult to the foremost of the Achaeans. Thetis wept and answered, My son, woe is me, that I would have borne or suckled you. Would indeed that you have lived your span free from all this sorrow at your ships, for it was all too brief, alas, that you should be at once short of life and long of sorrow above your peers. Woe, therefore, it was the hour in this which I bore you. Nevertheless, I will go to the snowy heights of Olympus and tell this tale to Zeus, if he shall hear our prayer. Meanwhile, stay where you are with your ships, nurse your anger against the Achaeans, hold aloof from fight, for Zeus went yesterday to Oceanus to a feast among the Ethiopians, and the other gods went with him. He will return to Olympus 12 days hence. I will go to this mansion paved with bronze, and will beseech him, nor do I doubt that I shall be able to persuade him. On this she left him, still furious at the loss of her that had which been taken from him. Meanwhile Odysseus reached Chryse with the hecatomb. When they had come inside the harbor, they furled the sails and laid them in the ship's hold. They slackened the forestays, lowered the mast into its place, and rowed the ship to the place where they would have her lie, where they cast out their mooring stones and made fast the hawsers. They then go out upon the seashore and landed the hecatomb for Apollo. Chryses also left the ship, and Odysseus led her to the altar to deliver her to the hands of her father. Chryses, said he, King Agamemnon has sent me to bring you back to your child and to offer sacrifice to Apollo on behalf of the Danaans, that we may propitiate the god, who has now brought much sorrow upon the Argives. So saying, he gave the girl over to the father, who received her gladly, and they arranged the holy hecatomb all orderly around the altar of the god. They washed their hands and took up the barley meal to sprinkle over the victims, while Chryses lifted up his hands and prayed along their behalf. Hear me, he cried, O goddess of the silver bow, O god of the silver bow, that protectest Chryse in the holy Scylla, the rulest Tenedos, with thy might, even thou didst hear me aforetime. When I prayed and didst press hardly, aforetime, when I prayed and didst press hardly upon the Achaeans, so hear me yet again, and stay this fearful pestilence from the Danaans. Thus did he pray, and Apollo heard his prayer. When they had done praying and sprinkling the barley meal, they drew back the heads of the victims, killed and flayed them. They cut out the thigh bones, wrapped them in 2 layers of fat, set some pieces of raw meat on the top of them, and then Chryses laid them on the wood fire and poured wine over them, while the young men stood near, with 5-pronged spits in their hands. With the thigh bones they were burned. The thigh bones were burned, and they tasted the inward meats. They cut the rest up small, put pieces upon the spits, roasted them till they were done, and drew them off. Then when they had finished their work, their feast was ready. They ate it, and every man had his full share, so that they were satisfied as soon as they had enough to eat and drink. Pages filled with mixing bowl with wine and water, handed it round after giving every man his drink offering. Thus all day these young men worshipped the gods with song, hymning and chanting the joyous paean. And the god took pleasure in their voices. But when the sun went down, it came dark. They laid themselves down to sleep by the stern cables of the ship, and with the child of morning, rosy-fingered dawn appeared. They again set sail for the host of the Achaeans. Apollo sent them a fair wind, so they raised their mast and hoisted their white sails aloft. As the sail bellied with the wind of the ship flew through the deep blue water, and the foam hissed against their bows as she sped onward. When they reached a wide stretching host of the Achaeans, they drew the vessel ashore, high and dry upon the sands, set her strong props beneath her, and sent their ways with their own tents and ships. But Achilles abode his ships, and nursed his anger, and went not to the honorable assembly, and sallied not forth to fight, but gnawed at his own heart, pining for battle and the war cry. Now, after 12 days, the immortal gods came back in a body to Olympus, and Zeus led the way. Thetis was not mindful of the charge her son laid upon her, so she rose from under the sea, and went through great heaven with early morning to Olympus, where she found the mighty son of Cronus sitting all alone upon its topmost ridges. She sat herself down before him, and with her left hand seized his knees, while with her right she caught him under the chin, and besought him, saying, Father Zeus, if I ever did you service in word or deed among the immortals, hear my prayer, and do honor to my son, whose life is to be cut short so early. King Agamemnon has dishonored him by taking his prize and keeping her. Honor him then yourself, Olympian lord of counsel, and great victory to the Trojans, till the Achaeans, my son, is due, and load him with riches and requital. Zeus sat for a while silent, without a word, but Thetis still kept firm hold of his knees, and besought him a second time. Incline your head, said she, and promise me surely, or else deny me, for you have nothing to fear, that I may learn how greatly you disdain me. At this Zeus was much troubled, and answered, I shall trouble if you set me quarreling with Hera, for she will provoke me with her taunting speeches. Even now she is always railing at me before the other gods, and accusing me of giving aid to the Trojans. Go back now, lest she find you out. I will consider the matter, and will bring about as you wish. See, I incline my head, that you believe me. This is the most solemn token that I can give to any god. I never recall my word, nor deceive, or fail to do what I say when I have nodded my head. As he spoke, the son of Cronus bowed his dark brows, and the ambrosial locks swayed on his immortal head, till vast Olympus reeled. When the pair had thus laid their plans, they parted, Zeus to his own house, while the goddess quitted the splendor of Olympus and plunged into the depths of the sea. The gods arose from their seats before coming out of their sire. Not one of them dared to remain sitting, but all stood as he came among them. There then he took his seat, But Hera, when she saw him, knew that he and the old merman's daughter, silver-footed Thetis, had been hatching mischief, so she once began to upbraid him. "Trickster," she cried, "which of the gods have you been taking into your counsels now? You are always settling matters in secret behind my back, and have never yet told me, if you could help it, one word of your intentions." Already starting to rail him. "Sorry, bro." "Hera," replied the sire of gods and men, "you must not expect to be informed of all my counsels. You are my wife, but you would find it hard to understand them when it is proper for you to hear. There is no one, god or man, who will be told sooner. But when I mean to keep a matter to myself, you must not pry nor ask questions." "Dread son of Cronus," answered Hera, what are you talking about? I pry and ask questions. Never. I let you have your way in everything. Still, I have a strong misgiving that the old merman's daughter, Thetis, had been talking to you over, for she was with you and had hold of your knees this self-same morning. I believe, therefore, that you have been promising her to give glory to Achilles and to kill much people at the ships of the Achaeans. "Wife," said Zeus, "I can do nothing but you suspect me and find it out. You will take nothing by it, for I shall only dislike you the more, and it will go harder with you. Granted it is that you say, I mean you had to have it so. Sit down and hold your tongue as I bid you, for if once I began to lay my hands about you, though all heaven were on your side, it would profit you nothing." On this Hera was frightened, so she curbed her stubborn will and sat down in silence. But the heavenly beings were disquieted throughout the house of Zeus, till the cunning workman Hephaestus began to try and pacify his mother Hera. "It will be intolerable," said he, if you do fall to wrangling and setting heaven in an uproar about a pack of mortals. If such ill counsels are to prevail, we shall have no pleasure at our banquet. Let me advise my mother, and must herself know that it will be better to make friends with my dear father Zeus, lest he again scold her and disturb our feast. If the Olympian thunderer wants to hurl from all our seats, he can do so, for he is far the strongest. So give him fair words, and he will then soon be in a good humor with us." As he spoke, he took a double cup of nectar and placed it in his mother's hands. "Cheer up, my dear mother," said he, "and make the best of it. I love you dearly, and should be very sorry to see you get a thrashing. However grieved I might be, I could not help you, for there is no standing against Zeus. Once, therefore, I was trying to help you. He caught me by the foot and flung me from the heavenly threshold. All day long, from morn till eve, I was falling, till at sunset I came to ground an island of Lemnos, and there I lay, with the little life left in me, till the Sintians came and tended me." Hera smiled at this, and smiled she took a cup from her son's hands. Then Hephaestus drew sweet nectar from the mixing bowl and served it round among the gods, going from left to right, and the blessed gods laughed out loud applause as they saw him bustling about the heavenly mansion. Thus through the livelong day, to the going down of the sun, they feasted, and everyone had his full share, so that they were all satisfied. Apollo struck his lyre, and the muses lifted up their sweet voices, calling and answering one another. But when the sun's glorious light had faded, they both went home to bed, each in his own abode, which lame Hephaestus with his consummate skill had fashioned for them. So Zeus and the Olympians, Lord of Thunder, hied him to the bed in which he had always slept, and he had always got onto it. He went to sleep with the Hera of the golden throne by his side. So, that is book 1. We are now on book 2. I could start book 2. I only have about 5 minutes, and I thought was a faster reader than this. But you guys are gonna have to let me know in the comments. Let me know if you like this. As you can tell, I'm a little bit further than what we just read. But I'm gonna make a note of that we stopped in book 2. We just only read book 1. So let me know if you guys really like this. And in the comment section below. Your feedback is what I'll use to determine if we shall be doing a video like this again. But thank you so much for watching. Go ahead and subscribe. Become a channel member if you want. Thank you guys for all of your support, and I will see you guys in the next video. See you later.